hell, that was incredible. That has been the most amazing night I've had in fucking ages. Give yourselves big up to you. So I just want to give you a little bit more information about what I do. So when Jenny was saying I was artistic director, I'm actually a poet, spoken word artist, playwright, stripper, novelist, that kind of thing. You get me? And back in the day, which is a historical turn, I did win the UK Slam Championship, and then in 2001 I set up Slambassadors, as in Slam Bastards. And basically my passion is finding beauty in the ugly places. I've got the National Youth Slams go across the whole country. And I'm going to do a piece about that, really, to start off with, called Last Poet Standing, which is about a lot of the young people I've worked with. It's also quite autobiographical as well. So rather than just mince on, I'll get on with it. Cool? I am the last poet standing on this blank stage of bruised pavements broken with missed opportunities and well-aimed misunderstandings. They say our children are too demanding. The scent of sweat at the base of the spine, carried on wolves of wind, lures the gangs in. Even the air we breathe has chalk lines around it, police barrier tape surrounds it. Whilst the skin of our streets is tattooed with grin and gut graffiti, the city's obituary cut by street artists, cultural terrorists and infantry, sprayed in blood and ink. See, our young are force-fed on vulnerability and violence. Their lullabies are the cries of police sirens and the echoes of doors slamming late under midnight moons as wide as children's eyes. She didn't come home again tonight. She never will. But that child will wait for her for the rest of his life, 'cause these canals, these tracks, these umbilical streets, these arteries of our cities are clogged with discarded dreams and shopping trolleys. See, our kids die in school corridors. Not just in illegal, intangible, immoral wars, but the simpler war between self-respect and self-esteem. Son, on these roads, it is expected that you will stumble, fumble, humble your grip on your dreams, but they are the only things we have. These delusions of equality. So stand up, speak free, exercise linguistic liberty. Shut up and speak. Because disappointment is viral, to the point where low expectation equals survival. And when there's little sense of truth, honour and justice, it is tempting to become tribal. So our thin children have dug themselves into their own fragile skin, and they hide behind sandbags, postcodes, strips of colour and lies, and a cheap pound shop pride. And a knife. There's always a knife that reflects the hand that holds it, you see? The blade reflects the hand that holds it. So when you see your face, can you remember your name? Meanwhile, our fathers are pugilist or fetal, boxers or babies, missing in action, and our gosling in a cheap chain reaction that leaves us lost in our own living rooms. And he's just an empty chair, or an empty promise, or the hierarchy of the fist above the kiss, a shadow receding in the mist, retreating in the mist. Fear is your father forgetting your name. Well, it's getting dark. We are a long way from home, and from a distance, those drained and greying tower blocks are gravestones, and every window lit is a word upon it. Well, who's going to write our epitaphs when all the poets have gone? Who's going to write our epitaphs when all the poets have gone? Who's going to write our epitaphs when all these young poets have gone? 'Cause we can never rest in peace, not while police stand guard outside school gates. And children have Kentucky Fried complexions, and education is dependent upon government inspection, and knowledge is privilege. While the libraries of our lives are pillaged, we can never rest in peace, not while children in the UK cannot spell their own names. And they are the monsters beneath their own beds and afraid of themselves and everything they wish they'd said, and the colour of ink is red, and this whole town is proof marked in blood. Not while there's one poet left standing, see. We have been worshipping false prophets for false prophets. The cult of celebrity, that cynical, cyclical celebration of hypocrisy that allows us to watch the whole outside world like it's reality TV, and our children are outside bent knee, picking broken glass from their eyes, broken glass, you see. There was never an end to slavery. We just don't define it anymore simply by ethnicity, but by economy. So can you hear the gangs howling from the plains of Peckham to the hard lands of Hackney, 'cause they can scent you. You will see me. You will see poetry written among the broken glass and the graffiti, starring in the shattered lenses of CCTV. You will see poetry. You'll see poetry in the braille of the night sky, over lengths of time a parent takes to say, goodbye, son, I'll see you soon. In the harvest moon of children's eyes, or that girl, that beautiful girl perched on the lip of the tower block, proud, wings unfurled, preparing to fly. Even in the gangland's wasteland, warrior cries, 'cause every one of those tower blocks is a book. Open it. There is hope in it. There is poetry. Thank you. Do you know what? I'm just gonna go straight on. Is that cool? So I'm gonna, fuck it, I feel like opening up a little bit. So I'm gonna do something that's more related, kind of a little bit of my story, but I need your help in it. You're gonna be ducks, you get it? Do you know the Rapunzel fairy tale? Yeah. Rapunzel, Rapunzel.
Let down your hair.
Because that would work, wouldn't it? Be let down your hair. Right, so everyone to go, yeah? Rapunzel, Rapunzel.
Let down your hair.
Girls at the top of ivory tower blocks, cut your hair. Your bandana, pimp charming, can't save you. He's already betrayed you. He's not climbing, he's pulling. These are not your dreams he's fulfilling as he stands there half drunk, grinning, introducing you to the gang, this half-written, crossed-out man. And it's all been a part of a palimpsest plan that once read like a love letter in invisible ink. But this boy has been patient. 2 hands on the window ledge, and in one, an invitation to the group initiation he forgot to mention. He makes her presence of stealing gifts. She is bowed in the presence of crystal kisses past the parcel. Delicate, vicious, they surround her in the disused lift. No poetry, no pity. Their eyes, the blank windows of a somnambulant city, her name spray-tagged in urinal graffiti. They circle her, one winks, offers a drink, and their shoulder blades are shark fins. These awkward, angry boys, all angles and apologies with blue siren voices that she once shared a classroom with. But their tongues are now whips that scar her unwritten skin into a map. Each word, each wound, a passport mark of origin that confines her to the estate. Know your place. Well, she might not wear niqab and burqa, but there is more than one form of purdah. She wears her hair across her face like crime scene tape. And I've learned not to look with these boys with mouths of burning books. Head quietly back to my flat. Doors closed like eyes will. All is still. All is still. Later, down the catwalk gangway, she teaches herself to walk, and the air she moves through is forever outlined in chalk. She walks, back bruised by the beatings of the communal metal bins they left her in. She walks, back bruised by the looks of other women clutching 6-packs of children as she carefully, warily passes by, because the boys round these ends wear half-drawn net curtains across their eyes. But she'll learn. She'll learn like the rest to bury her breast in the shallow grave of her chest, because a lowered gaze on the block offers way more protection than a Kevlar vest. They tell you not to join a gang, yeah? But not that you will grow up in one, that these are your friends. These razor-mouthed men, that the same boys that once played Pokemon in the playground are now shotting crack and blow, smack and snow on indifferent street corners in the less curious parts of town, frightened and furious, kissing fist, boy soldier, street existentialists, pressing stealing gifts onto well-dressed strangers with wet upper lips a storm in the centre of each palm. Don't talk to her about self-harm. If this was Iran, she would be stoned to death for what they did to her. But this is Hackney, so she just gets stoned. Those same boys that once played Kiss Chase now play Kiss Chase, and the moon hides its face in the branches of a tree. The girls that are locked in ivory tower blocks around these ends are kept well fed and confined to their beds like battery hens, stored one on top of the other, an Argos advent calendar, pop the window, inside a girl grows into a woman, into her own widow, and now there are parts of her body, places where even the police won't go, areas of her skin where the grass will not grow in the dark heart of the tower block shadow that turns the estate into a sundial. There are parts of her body that are waste grounds and wastelands on which a small girl stands alone, wondering which could be the path that'll lead her home. Sensing blood, pulls up a hood, sets off quietly into the woods, sprayed with their collective pheromones. And when she smiles, her teeth are a white picket fence, neglected, paint peeling on which a bouquet of flowers rests against, and nothing sings. Nothing ever sings. Nothing tastes as good as that which is forbidden. Nothing is as public as that which must be hidden, as impossible, as irreverent as the possibility of forgiving. So where the fuck are the flowers resting against railings for these young fallen women? Where are the t-shirts, the TV appeals, the parliamentary petitions? There's just confinement to the tenement as though men are the victims and the female form once again becomes a kind of prison. Meanwhile, gang gods battle gods in a raw estate of Restire, and she is Cassandra, foreseeing a future but fated never to be believed, especially by herself, who only knows what she thinks on following Facebook news feeds. And so the media call her the all-devouring mother, bedsit Medea, print headlines in graveyard script, but never tell the story of the girl on the 12th story entombed in a family crypt. But this girl is a municipal miracle, a council estate oracle. In the centre of each eye is an image of the whole world. She is the universe contained in a single pixel, the rainbow rising out of the oil spill. Girls, know your power. Girls at the top of ivory tower blocks, cut your hair. And when you have, and when you do, tell them it's because you don't need anyone to save you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, you're so lovely. I get a bit stumbly when I'm so fucking nervous. Untrue, I've had to do loads of drugs just to get up here, babe. She showed you a line of cake earlier. It's amazing. So, anybody been to Greenham Common? Do you remember Greenham?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, wicked. Why do you remember? Yes. Right, Greenham Common, for those of you who don't remember, was it was fucking incredible. It saved my life. I, like 15, 16, ran away from home, went from Lancashire, which is where I'm from, all the way down to Berkshire, home counties, babe. Went all the way down there to find, to protest against nuclear missiles, but essentially there was this alternative community set up, which was women of all different ages, supported by blokes who would come and, like, you know, give food and clothing and just generally support us. But essentially it was a female-led revolution, and I was properly taken care of. Anyway, I was arrested quite a lot. And I actually, I did go to trial, and I got done. It was called something else, like going to prison. Done. But I gave false names and all, as you did. When I was in the dark, I remember lighting up a big cigarette. I was like, it was like Joan Collins, but like with a skinhead and dungarees. Anyway, this is... And then last year, I was coming out of Hackney Station and I had a tiny spliff when the police stopped me. They were like, what's that? And I started crying. I went really middle class. I went up like 2 classes, like, I don't know what's happened. And they did, the call thing about you, and they're like, are you Joelle Cassandra Taylor? That's not my name, Cassandra, that's like a mythological character here, but clearly in the doc I'm like, I am Cassandra. I prophesy the future. What twat. But it reminded me to write this poem, and it's called Ancestors. These vagabond women, these wrong-haired girls, these walkers along fallopian roads that curve into names, these sisters of broken teeth, these flocks of shrieks, these punched laughs, these clutched keys, these copywriters of bed sheets, these rouges of bruises, these deep nights of ugly and beauty and innocence. See how we birthed the world. See how we unpicked razor wire perimeters like badly knitted jumpers. See the smiles scarring our faces. See how we dreamed in different languages. See how we cradled sleeping suffragists in the soft of our fists. See how we danced at the end of the world. See how we lived in hard houses. See the chill outs that kept us warm. See the storm at the edges of ice. See the thin line we stepped over and inhaled and wore as hangman's ropes around our necks. See the stain on the wall turn into the face of your mother. See her smoking. See her clean herself into corners. See her wash herself away. See brown girls pirouetting from umbilical ropes strung from the old man's hand of a stripped yew tree. See a picnic at apocalypse. See our gingham grins. See a land beneath a single bed. See women invaded like oil-rich countries. See 2 mouths, neither of them speaking. See white girls written over. See black women. See black women. See black women. See the presence of absence. See the woman sewn inside her father. See the child tap dance in a gilded bird cage. See women flicker like neon lights. See a girl catch a bullet in her teeth and swallow. These vagabond women, these wrong-haired girls who held hands when you could not and sang songs you had forgotten the words to and carried you. They're our ancestors. Hold them to the light. On clear nights, you can see yourself. Thank you.
Yeah.